Welcome back to Hannity, and we continue with our week-long Hannity investigation into the disturbing reports that dozens of veterans literally died while waiting for treatment at a Phoenix Veterans Affairs hospital. Now, here is Ainsley Earhart's third installment from her very emotional trip this past weekend.
Wayne and Connie Lounsbury were married in 2009, and life couldn't have been any better.
Oh, it was beautiful. The weather, it was like a dream come true for both of us.
How'd you meet him?
1991, we were working together, and he made a promise to me that we would get married. And in 2009, we got married.
But just 2 short years later, a trip to the VA hospital in Phoenix for a routine MRI set in motion a series of events that would change her life forever. What happened?
He went in for an MRI on the 8th of April, 2011. He came down as a quadriplegic.
They bring him back to the ER, and what happens?
Wayne is out. I mean, totally out. And I was trying to wake him up. They were putting medication in his IV, and that's when Wayne opened his eyes and he said to me that he felt frozen. And I asked him, I said, "Are you cold?" And he said, "No." And then he turned his head towards me and he said, "Hun, get me out of here. I don't think I'm going to make it." Those were his exact words.
So when you asked the nurses and doctors, what happened to my husband? How did he get like this? What'd they say?
Nothing. They won't talk to me.
They transport your husband at this point to another hospital.
Yes, Scottsdale Osborne.
A trauma hospital.
Yes.
He has emergency surgery.
Wayne had a lot of problems because of the paralysis in his chest, and his lungs weren't working. He started with pneumonia. And when they found out that he had a living will through the VA, the doctors there said, "We can't go through with any more of the procedures." Because Wayne, it did specify that if he was not able to do things and function on his own, he didn't want to live. So I had to let him go 6 days later. I couldn't fight for him anymore.
They're not giving you any answers?
Nope. I never got an answer from the doctors. I had to sit there for 2-3 hours and watch him go. There was nothing I could do. And that's something nobody should ever go through.
Are you holding his hand?
Yes.
Talking to him?
Yes. And the hospital allowed us to bring one of the little girls in. So we brought little Chloe in because he always used to say, used to tug at his heart. So we brought her in, and she was with him when he passed away.
If you could go back, what would you do?
Not take him
do
back.
differently?
I would never take him back there. They took my life. They took my best friend. Yeah. And the guilt that I've been carrying around because I brought him there.
And back again to explain. You're getting emotional. You're getting. This is horrible.
I love her. I love them all.
Yeah.
You know, their stories are awful, and I have Yorkies, so I have a soft spot for this family.
He went in because he had a back issue.
Yep, he had back problems, a disc in his back that was giving him trouble. So he went in for an MRI because he was in excruciating pain. They were going on vacation the next day. He goes in for an MRI. He's supposed to be back there for 30 minutes. She goes to get some food for him, comes back. Hours go by. She finally gets to see him. He's out cold, and that's when he says, "Get me out of here. Get me out of the hospital." He's a quadriplegic at this point.
How did this makes no sense to me?
He doesn't remember what happened inside because he said he was sedated. And the doctor, when they transported him to the Scottsdale hospital, the doctor said, "When was he in this car accident?" And she said, "What car accident?"
Something happened.
He said, "These are the injuries of someone who's been in a car accident."
How did they get away with no answers? You know, look, my sisters are nurses. You have to record everything that happens.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't even give her the records.
She still to this day, years later, has no clue what happened inside that room when he went in to get an MRI.
We got 40 dead people waiting because they can't get into the hospitals. Then if you get in, God help you if you get in, apparently.
Yeah.
And this is spread. This is institutionally spread throughout the VA, right?
Exactly. That's what we're hearing. All these stories are very similar. And she did say, she said, I've watched your segments this week, and Sean hasn't been throwing the football at the end of these segments. She said, please tell Sean to throw the football in honor of Wayne, because he played football in high school and he loves the sport.
No, because it's so serious to me. I just didn't feel right about it. Because
being respectful.
Yes, but for Connie and for Wayne, this is for you, and we're going to try and help get to the bottom of this. Ainsley, great report. Thank you.
Thanks so much,
We'll be back tomorrow night with the next report.
Right.